Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. It is time to get into the weekend reality videos. I didn't make one big video. I feel like I'm going to do them one show at a time because I haven't watched everything from the weekend. Shout out, happy Valentine's Day. I know it's late, but that was a big part of why I didn't record over the weekend. It was Valentine's weekend. I was spending time with my husband. And so, I can't always be up here on the camera just running my mouth. Sometimes I do have to, and I do want to spend time with my husband and do fun things as together as well. So that's why I'm late. I apologize. Up first, we're going to get into, and I still have this cough, but I got a cough drop. We're going to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville first, reunion part 3. Up next, we're going to get into Real Housewives of Potomac, reunion part 1. And by special request, was I doing Drag Race? I was doing the Drag Race live, and someone said, "What happened to the challenge?" I was not going to talk about the challenge this week. The episode that happened last Wednesday, I was not entertained at all, but we'll talk about it for about 30 minutes at 5:30 today. We'll see what we can come up with, but I just was not entertained. And right now, I'll save it for the challenge video. Right now, let's get to the conclusion of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I have to start this live by saying a big part of the episode didn't record because it was storming here in Memphis. I guess that was Saturday night. So when I went to watch it this morning and take my notes, I'm like, half the shit didn't record. Oh, I'm cursing already. Half the stuff didn't even record. I missed the section on the girls' trip, and I missed Stormy because I knew Stormy was supposed to be this big surprise guest, but when my cable picked back up, Stormy was already on the stage, and they were at the moment of Kiki. So I feel like I missed a big chunk of part 3, but I don't care. I'm happy this is over. Let's get it popping. Let's get it started. I got my trusty paper notes today. We pick up with Martell and Trish. Did they sleep together or not? Ken did not find Martell's joke amusing. Ken does not find it amusing that Trish can't get her story together. He said, "This was way before me. So if you slept with him, just say it. There's no reason to lie." That's why I personally feel like those two people did something together sexually that they don't want to come out. Because at the time, well, hell, Trish still married, so she don't give a damn about doing. At the time, both of them were still married, even if it was a separation involved. At some point, Trish said she ain't never seen the show, so she don't know nothing about Mel and Martell being married. Everybody on that stage was looking like, Huntsville is a small town. It's not a major city at all. So you can't tell me that 90%, I'm gonna even go up to maybe 95% of the Black people that live in the city of Huntsville have not tuned in to at least 1 or 2 episodes of Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's no way. That's just like if there was ever a reality show that took place in Memphis, I want to watch it because I want to see who I might know. I probably don't know anybody. Because I'm not a Memphisian. Is that how you call it? A Memphisian. I'm not from Memphis, but I've been here 10 years. Whatever. But I'm also from a small town in Illinois, Kankakee. Shout out to Kankakee. If Kankakee ever had a reality show, I don't care how boring people might think it was, I'm tuning in just because I want to see the kind of mess that's going on and who on it, because I damn sure know damn near everybody in Kankakee. So it just doesn't make common sense that Trish is talking about she never turned on the show because she has so much going on in her life. And I understand you had a lot going on at that time. That's probably why you found comfort in the arms of Martell. And you should just say that. I mean, yeah, that hurt Mel feelings a little bit, but I don't really think she would care because she knows that her ex-husband is a cheater. And the key word in the sentence was ex. Ex. But anyway, I liked Mel calling out Martell. Now, you were poking that bear. And if he would have shifted that energy towards you, Mel, you would have had to sit in that, stand in it, and then you would have been upset, talking about, don't talk to me. We ain't talking about the kids. Don't talk to me. I was respecting the don't talk to me, Martell, part 1 and part 2 of this reunion, Mel. You poked that bear, and I was here for it. I'm happy he turned that, as you call it, gassing him up. I'm happy you ain't gassing him up on you. But Mel was like, it's a big masculine strong man right there that just called you out and you ain't say nothing to him. You ain't got no words for what he just said. He said he ain't find what you said amusing. You ain't had nothing to say to him. Because see, if it was a woman up here, you would have cussed all of us out. You would have been arguing with every woman up here on this stage. But this big strong man right here said something to you, you ain't got nothing to say. Martell and Marceau found that extremely funny and they went to laughing. And Martell proceeds to want to curse out Maurice. Like, Maurice, that shit ain't funny. Maurice was like, Mel got one out on you. And then Nell was like, quit hollering in my ear. And Martell proceeds to argue with Nell, which proves Melody's whole point. You will argue with a woman quick, fast, in a hurry, but you back off when it's one of these men. You damn sure backed off when it was Ken, because I know you don't want no smoke with him. Anyway, Melody said, forget all that. Get back to the story of Trish because they want to know what happened. Trish is still saying nothing sexual happened. She did pull up to his house, but she thought they were going to meet in a clubhouse because the neighborhood was really nice. It was a really nice neighborhood, and I thought we were just going to work out in the clubhouse, but it happened to be his house, but we still ain't do nothing. Mel said, forget all that. Chris, tell us how it really went down. Did Martell call you or not? Martell did not want Chris to answer, but Nell said, go ahead and tell it. So Chris had to tell the story that he told Nell, even though Chris himself has told about maybe 62 different stories. But whatever one he told his wife, he remembered. He said, yeah, Martell called. I told him this lady right here always be in the gym. This her name. And Martell was the one that looked up on the DMs. I ain't give him the number, none of that. But they left out the cousin part. He left out, my cousin is always up here at the gym, and her name is Trish, whatever. Find her on Instagram. These men ain't worth a damn over here in the Huntsville. I don't know what all the ladies up here screaming and fighting and hollering over. But whatever. I wish somebody would have brought up the cousin thing, but Carlos let that one go. So I think, was it Carlos who was being messy saying, well, you did pull up to a married man's home. And Mel was looking like, it has to be embarrassing for Mel, even though that's her ex-husband. But to continuously find out that people are coming to the show just to embarrass you by saying that they were one of the peasants and just have to constantly find out your ex-husband is just cheat. It has to be embarrassing for Mel. I wouldn't want to be friends with Trisha neither. That's just a line. I don't care if we were separated or not. That's a line you don't cross with women. And I would feel some kind of way about it. Ken fixed his lips to say, but they weren't married. Sir, you are currently, now not in real time, because they say in real time you done deleted all them pictures off Instagram and that you and Trish done broke up. But at the time that this was taped, you were sitting next to a married woman. You, Ken, for 3 years, content, with living, playing house, playing daddy, doing all this stuff you bragging and yelling at Marquez about with a married woman. If Trish will lay up with you married, she'll lay up with anybody else married. So you the last one that needs to be worried about, was Mel and Martell still married when Trish pulled up to the house, because the woman you sitting next to is still married. And I don't believe they signed a lick of paperwork, but we'll get to that if I put it in my notes. I already talked about Trish said she never watched the show. Okay, let's get to Marquez and Kenyon. All I put in my notes is I'm over both of them. I'm over both of them. Marquez, you did abandon your family. I don't care if you was daddy of the year for the first 17, 16 years of them children's life. For the last 2 to 5, you haven't been shit. And it probably hurts more knowing your father has been a typical stand-up type of father, and then bam, he off to the ATL and F us. That hurts even more. So I don't know why you want no brownie points, you want a cookie, an ice cream sundae. Like, I don't know what you want for saying, but I was a good father the first 14, 15 years. I was there. You can't wipe that away. But what are you doing now? What are you doing now? You're supposed to be a father. And I was with Kimmy. Even though, Kimmy, you should have been minding your business. You should have been minding your business, Kimmy, but Kimmy was speaking facts. You can't be a telephone daddy. You can't be an Instagram daddy. You can't just show up to graduation events and want to puff up your shoulders like, that's my child, that's my child. No, what are you doing currently? Now, I also don't agree with Ken just trying to diminish blank. What word was Marquez using? Obliviate, whatever he was saying. You can't swipe in for 3 years and think because you're now the financial provider, the one to rub their shoulders at night, that you're now their dad, and you can now say he ain't the daddy, he ain't shit. I done let the boy take my car. I'm surprised y'all let a teenager get on the highway to ATL to go visit their daddy. It wouldn't have been something I would let my teenage son to do, because my son's father does live out of state. And at 18, 17, I'm not saying, yeah, go ride up and down the highway, kick it with your daddy for his birthday. If your daddy can't come here and see you for his birthday, I guess you're not just going to see him. But that's their parenting. I just wouldn't trust a teenager going up and down the highway like that. But that's just me. I mean, my son isn't a teenager anymore. Like, he's 21, and yes, he drive up and down the highway to go back and forth to school, but that's different. And this ain't got nothing to do with my son. I'm judging these people on the television. But anyway, Marquez and Ken continue to go back and forth. I think Trish just likes that they fight, like that somebody is sticking it to Marquez. Marquez at one moment stands up, and I'm like, sir, I know you. I mean, they say the bigger you are, the harder you fall, but I don't think you could take on Ken. Like, I don't think Ken is what you want, Marquez. I think you might want to sit in your seat. But hey, Marquez was standing up. He was talking his shit. And at some point, Carlos had to jump in and kind of smooth it out and switch the subject, because Marquez made a very valid point. Even though she not with me, she don't want to marry your ass neither. Like, you over here playing daddy, paying all the bills. You're just doing that for her benefit, because she don't really want you neither. And I think we've already established that Trish doesn't really want Ken in that way. Like, I think Trish is perfectly happy to be boyfriend and girlfriend with Ken and to play house with Ken and let Ken pay all her bills. What woman wouldn't? Like, you want to pay all the bills? Go ahead and pay them. You know. But it's very clear that she doesn't want to marry him, because she doesn't even want to take the steps to be divorced from Marquez, which I can't wrap my hand around it, but it ain't none of my business. So now we switch the subject. Carlos gets messy and it's like, don't you want to give Mel some flowers? And don't you want to take her out on a date? Here goes some flowers on this table. And Marquez says, I don't want to date Mel, but I would like to link up with her and I would like to give her flowers as a businesswoman. She got her business sense together and she doing the damn thing and I would love to learn from her. I think that was the most intelligent thing that Marquez has said the entire time he's been on this show. Like, I don't know why he was trying to front like he wanted to date Mel and like Mel would ever give him the time of the day. Like, oh, Ken did call him a bum. He said, "You're a bum." That could be true, but I just feel like as someone who says they care about those children, you wouldn't be on national television, especially knowing that one of them grown. One of them grown. Both the other child seems to be like in middle school, maybe a freshman in high school. Them kids are old enough to know that you calling a daddy a bum on national television. And if I was one of those children, I would have a problem with my mother dating someone who is just blatantly disrespecting my father. No matter, because it seems like, and we only seen 30 minutes of them children on this TV show. From what I've seen in the body language, in the interactions I've seen of Marquez with them children, those children love their father. It doesn't seem like he's at that bum level of, I don't want nothing to have nothing to do with my dad. It seems like that when Marquez is around, they want to be around their father and they have love for him. And you calling a daddy a bum on national television, it's certain things that if you love the children, you wouldn't do. You would know how to control yourself, Ken. And I hate to say this because I don't think it's right for people to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you had biological children, you would understand. And the fact, I don't understand, that doesn't excuse Trish because Trish should have checked that and been like, look, let's not do the name calling. Or let's talk about this off. Like, I wouldn't even want to talk about this shit on the reunion, but anything for this little Carlos check, I guess. But I didn't appreciate that out of Ken. It just shows me that you think being a parent is all about the finances. And that was Marquez's point. And I'm not saying that Marquez is right, but that it's more than just paying bills. And if you were emotionally there as a parent, you wouldn't have disrespected this man knowing that his children would see it. But enough for them because I'm tired. I'm tired of Marquez and Ken. I'm tired of this stunt with Mel. I'm happy that someone does at least acknowledge Mel and her business attributes. She definitely was the smartest one in that coupling. And she did a great pivot. Like, she said, forget everything, dissolve everything, dissolve whole enterprises, dissolve that makeup. Because she had, I can't think of the name of that skincare brand, but of course she started it when she was married. She said, dissolve everything. I don't want to continue nothing with Martell. And she started over. And it seems like she's doing well for herself. So I'm not mad at Mel at all. Now this is when my TV starts messing up, start glitching, and they start talking about the girls' trip. I don't hear what was discussed. I just don't care about the girls' trip. I don't care about the rooms. I don't care about Destiny trying to always sit next to Mel. I it's very clear. It's very clear these people don't like each other. I don't know. It should be something to the common denominator of it all. Like, Mel, everybody does dislike you. But again, I missed so many seasons. This is my first time watching a full season of Love and Marriage Huntsville in about 2 or 3 seasons. So I don't know what Mel was doing to these ladies and why all the friendships are going to the left, to the left, to the left. I don't know, but Mel ain't gonna be there next year, so we'll see what happens. Now, Stormy came out. I don't know what Stormy talked about. She probably wanted to jab Mel too, because this definitely was the jab at Mel reunion. I don't care, because I don't understand why Stormy and Mel friendship broke down. Mel definitely gave Stormy tons of props. I remember when Mel was trying to do music. I hope she put that music down. Let's dream on, dream on. Um, I remember when Mel had some music video and it was Stormy's house, and Stormy let her decorate her backyard and pool. And she always gave Stormy, a ton of credit for being this great businesswoman. And she wanted one day to have all the money that and success that Stormy has. So I don't know how it broke down, but shout out to Stormy. We get to the Kiki segment. I'm not, I feel like I have to say this before I say what I have to say. I am not a huge follower of these people outside of what comes on the episode. Like, I don't follow these people on Instagram. I don't get into their 50 million Instagram lives that they do in the off season. I don't watch all the interviews they do with all the YouTubers in the off season. Like, all I know is this show. And what I know from this show is, yes, Kiki was family to Tisha and the Scotts, and they were family, but it seemed like a dysfunctional relationship on the show. I feel for Tisha when she said, I wish I would have fixed things before she left, because we don't know the second, the minute, the hour, the day, the month, the year. You don't know how much time you have to make up with someone. So if you do really love and care for someone, especially family, and y'all might have fell out and you don't want to stay falling out, make up, make it right sooner than later. Don't think, well, I'll get to it next year. I ain't talking to her. Sometimes it's not worth it. I'm happy Tisha recognized that. I do recall the last time I made a review, it was the video where Kiki splashed Tisha in the face, and I was kind of here for that. That's messy of me. But I just remember they were calling her all kind of drug addicts. They were making fun of her, that shoplifting incident, even though no charges ever came of it, and they really put her drug addiction on Front Street. I didn't like how they did that, but at the end of the day, truth is truth, and it just seemed like they were mad at Kiki for being friends with Mel. So we gonna anyway. That lady is no longer here. Condolences to her family. I'm happy that Tisha is still reaching out to her children and having a family relationship with the children and helping out, because it's really hard when one parent passes and you're used to being in that two-parent household. It's really hard, and I'm sure he needs a lot of help. Those children need a lot of grief counseling. Stormy paid for the funeral. It was something that God placed on her heart to help, and that was how she could help financially, and she was in a position to do it. I don't think we should talk down on anyone like, why Tisha? Because I seen the tweets, why Tisha ain't pay for it. Tisha and Marcel got all this money, why they ain't pay for the funeral? Look, it was placed on Stormy's heart to pay for it, and Stormy paid. How many people need to pay? If one person already paid, what we paying for? You know, I don't know what Tisha did. And it ain't none of my business, but I don't think you should drag people for not using your coins in the way you feel that they should, because what happened to where was the insurance? I'm just saying, if you gonna drag one, drag them all. You can't be like, I'm tired of these GoFundMe's. Where the insurance for some people, but then because these people are on reality TV and you feel some kind of way towards them, you want to be like, well, why they even pay for it? You got to pick a side, and it's got to be that way for everybody, not just the people you like or dislike. But anyway, shout out to Stormy. I think it's a blessing when you can give, and when God tells you to give, you actually do give. You will be blessed in return. So shout out to Stormy. Shout out to Stormy and her business. I'll be meaning to check out Canvas. Um, I just am not into body oils. I don't like to look that shiny. I just like to not be ashy. I don't necessarily want to be shiny like that body oils. But if she ever comes out with a lotion or something, I would try that. But anyway, that's all I got for the reunion. And we on to the next season. We all know that Melody quit. Who we gonna gang up on? I mean, are we gonna have a friendly show now? Is it gonna be the Scotts are the perfect in-laws and they're gonna get along with Destiny and Miss Nell and we're gonna kumbaya and just party, party, party. Hey Handy. I'm a nurse for life insurance and I'm thinking Kiki didn't qualify. Oh, due to her addiction. Well, either way, it's a blessing that Stormy paid for it. And I just feel like let the blessing be the blessing. Let's not point fingers on who did what. But okay, that does make sense. I don't know. I just don't. Are we gonna watch a Kumbaya Love and Marriage Huntsville? Like, I am excited to see a season without Mel. Not that I dislike you, Mel, but you do get tired of everybody being like, Mel is the problem. Mel is this. Mel thinks she that. Mel got me blocked. I only talk to Mel when she want to film a scene. Okay, well, she's no longer here. Now, what are you all going to talk about? Is it going to be a season where we talk about Mel, but she's not filming? I just wonder where we go because none of these people actually tell us anything about their lives. Like the Scotts really don't even tell us anything about their business. We see them building a house. They still over there in what Nene call it Neverland. We still ain't seen this mansion in the jungle. I'm just wondering who's about to put all their business in the streets now. I don't care nothing about Trish and Ken and Marquez. They beat that storyline to death last season. I don't care. Maybe Miss Nell will tell us some of her and Chris Fletcher business. I don't know. I just wonder how is Destiny damn sure ain't about to tell us none of her business. We'll see next season. I think Mel will end up back in the episodes. Unfortunately, I don't believe all the hype that she's gone. I think after someone gets on national television and accuses me of grooming them for a threesome with my husband and stating they're scared to spend the night over my house because one of us, and it seemed like she was only referencing Mel, is going to do something to them. Once it turns that corner of sexual charges, I really feel like that's the kiss of death for TV shows. Once Phaedra and Portia did that mess, the Candy on Roa, kiss Real Housewives of Atlanta hasn't been good since. Like once you start going down that grooming, I want to have sex and I'm scared. Once you turn that corner on these reality shows, I really feel like that's the kiss of death. I don't know if I was Mel, it ain't enough money for me to come back to that, especially if I'm already getting an executive producer check. I can just let y'all exploit y'all life and I can sit up and make a check off of y'all. And I don't have to be out here getting all this punishment. So I kind of think unless the Scotts really turn it up or they really bring in some people that's going to give us some new drama, it's time to go ahead and put this show to bed. I'm gonna watch it next season and see. I can't guarantee I'm on review because this one was a hard one to get through myself. This one was a hard one. It's definitely gonna be Ken and Marquez. I don't care. Somebody said they got to fighting. If they ain't gonna show the fight, I don't care. And I really don't want to see the fight because I just feel like it wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be fair because to me, Ken can't be that big and not know how to fight. I just can't see anybody just coming up whooping his ass. So I don't care nothing about Ken and Marquez. I don't care enough about Trish either. Ugh. They need to find some new people in Huntsville to bring on. They really do. The crazy part is Destiny could have literally used any other word. I felt set up. I felt like they were insinuating something, literally anything else. But Destiny's not smart. Because if she was smart, she would have knew that grooming was not the correct word. But she's not smart. She wanted to stick it to Mel. She wanted to put Mel's business in the streets about that limo situation, which, as I said, we're talking about grown, consenting, married adults. If they want to give fellatio in front of their friend group, that is their business. Their business. And Tisha knew what she was doing by telling Destiny. You can't tell me no, but Tisha ain't that bright either. That's why I said we gonna see. But let me get off of here. It's time to talk about love and not love and marriage. What the hell is the next show? Real Housewives of Potomac reunion part 1. Andy, it ain't given. This is one of the best reunions of all time, but I am entertained. I was entertained for part 1. So we're about to get into that next. If you care about Real Housewives of Potomac, just sit there. You will be whooshed into the next live. I'm about to start it up in about 20 seconds. And if you don't, you could drop off, but just like this video. If it's your first time, go ahead and hit subscribe and all that other good stuff. And oh, wait, I ain't gonna see y'all for Love and Marriage Huntsville for a while. But go ahead and hit subscribe anyway. It's something else on to be on for us to talk about. And I'll see y'all in a few seconds for the children, the people down in Potomac. All right. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all later. Bye.